Hey y'all, so apparently Pete Hegseth had a big idea recently. I guess he was in his office one day, fueling a manic episode with shots of Fireball, ranting at his assistant. Like, you got everything set up for the official Pentagon beer pong tournament next week? Okay, great. All right, next order of business. I want you to draft a memo to military leadership. Tell them they all got to come here for a meeting on the 30th. Yes, sir. And what should I say is the purpose of this unprecedented and clearly vitally important meeting? So I can talk mad shit and get everybody hype as fuck, bro. That's what. Don't tell them that though. I want it to be a surprise. Yeah, I'm gonna go sec Def Jam on these bitches. That don't say that sounded super black. I don't know why I said it's gonna be sweet as fuck. Put that in the memo. Say attendance is mandatory, but it will be sweet as fuck though. Signed, Hegsdog. Right? He was very into it. You know, he had the American flag up there behind him, and I guess old General patting himself on the back must have hit a gas mask bong filled with his own farts before he got started because he was feeling himself, boy. He get up there like, all right, first things first, kick ass and rip shit. That's what we do. And starting today, we're going old school, all right? I don't want to hear any more of this woke ass, oh, the Geneva Convention, oh, civilian casualties, bullshit. Fucking rules of engagement, more like rules of engage shit. War crimes, give me more crimes. That's what I say. America, motherfucker, lighting shit up since 1776, bitch. Also, no more fatties. No, sir. Starting today, we're all going to be ripped as hell. We're going to train MMA, and we're painting flames on all the tanks. It's going to be fucking sick. We're going to have tight-ass haircuts, perfectly shaved jawlines, and no, that's not because I can't grow a good beard. I don't want it reported that last thing is because I can't grow a good beard. All right, next up, women in the military. I know, ugh, right? But unfortunately, there's more to war than just rocking hard and blowing shit up, okay? So we'll let the ladies handle some of that. But gals, here's the deal. Going to need you to zip it up a bit, okay? Apparently, you've been reporting more and more sexual assaults every year, and straight up, you're harshing the fucking vibes. All right, it's not cool. Maybe try smiling a little more. See how much further that gets you. All right, that's about it for me. Just a couple more quick things. We're gonna start giving out medals for hazing. We're gonna do that old-timey thing where you play live music when the battle starts, but instead of dumb trumpets, we're gonna shred guitar. And oh yeah, we're gonna rename all the forts after slave owners again. All right, Hegsdog out. And then to top off the cartoonish lunacy of it all, once he got done fat-shaming military leadership, he brought on stage the dumpiest commander-in-chief since Taft was getting wedged into bathtubs. The whole thing was a completely unnecessary clown show embarrassment, or as Team Trump calls it, our wheelhouse. Right? But luckily you could tell the generals there weren't thrilled with it either, right? Presumably because they've devoted their entire lives to serving with distinction in a role that they take very seriously, and then today they had to sit there quietly while the most unserious administration in the history of the Western world called them all fat gay losers as part of an impotent attempt to project a weak idiot's idea of strength. Ain't that America? All right, we'll be back with more in just a second, YouTube. But you know what? Stories like this happen in particular make me go, who could possibly take this seriously? Who could possibly not think that was completely ridiculous today? But then I remember, oh yeah, our media is a hellscape. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I take this article from Blaze Media, headline, Hegseth declares war on woke military policies. We are done with that shit. Further quote, this is combat, this is life or death. Sounds pretty badass. He's in front of an American flag. Everything you need to get your mall ninja cousin's blood a patriotically pumping, right? But if we use Ground News' Chrome extension to click through to the full coverage, you get a broader picture. That's what Ground News does. They compile all the coverage in one place so you can make your own decisions, right? But if you use Ground News to sort by bias and we look on the right, again, you can tell that they're into it. They love what Hegseth did today. All the buzzwords, DEI, fat troops, woke policies, warrior ethos speech, right? You know, the papaws are eating it up. But over on the left, presented a little differently. Hegseth uses extraordinary meeting to fat shame generals. Trump and Hegseth finally get rid of woke, pronoun-loving military men with beards. You can feel the sarcasm dripping off of it there. So you can very clearly see the bias evident in both sides of our media spectrum. But that's what Ground News gives you. Context, transparency, right? You can see here before you ever click an article, you can see where the money comes from, the factuality rating, and the bias of the outlet. That's what they offer. They give you the tools you need to make your own informed decisions and not let the media dictate the narrative for you anymore. So if that sounds good to you, scan that QR code on the screen there and click the link in the description below to try Ground News today. You can get 40% off their highest tier Advantage plan. That's the one with all the perks. That's got everything you need, baby. It's also only $5 a month, so give it a shot, right? But the time is now pushed back on the bias and BS. Check out Ground News today. All right, YouTube, and we're back. Now that really was, that was one of the most profound examples of bombing in front of what should be your own audience that I've seen since my last tour run. Am I right? You know, if anybody knows anything about bombing, it's this guy. No, I'm just kidding. If you haven't seen me live, you should come do it later, because that was just a joke. I'm not saying it's always great, but it's not. I don't actually, whatever. They suck today. Trump and Hegseth were bad. They bombed. All right. I don't know. It took me 2 hours to pick up, and replace my eyeballs into my sockets after I rolled them completely out when Hegseth did this thing where he goes, to all of America's enemies, F-A-F-O. And you could tell he was like, this is the most badass shit that anybody has ever said. All these dudes that have been in the military for 30, 40 years each, they ain't even gonna be able to handle how badass that was. I don't know if he thought a cheer should erupt right there, or fucking they all just start shooting their guns in the air, Yosemite Sam style. I'm sure he'll probably dictate that becomes standard military practice soon. But either way, he goes F-A-F-O. He's waiting for the applause that never came. Silence, crickets. One weird on the back was like, woo, yeah, woo. That's probably one of Hegseth's minions, I guess, like that. I probably told him at some point, he was like, hey, here's what I need you to do. At that part, I want you to start a slow clap. You know, like in the movie, you've seen a slow clap, and like, you know what I mean? One guy starts the slow clap, and then gradually it becomes like a fucking big, sweet, standing ovation. Like, yeah, I want you to do that for me if you could. But that didn't work out. And then Trump didn't fare much better. He literally came on stage and complained immediately about how he was not filleted enough by the audience in attendance. He essentially gave them the classic Jeb Bush please clap thing, which they weren't having. I saw some clips from Trump. I don't even know what he's talking about anymore. He's talking about Obama walking up and down the stairs and make doop de doop ba boop de boop and making noises like that, and telling people, talking about raising canes. It's like, he don't know shit about the Bible. Is he talking about chicken tenders? I know he knows way more about chicken tenders in the Bible. What did chicken tenders have to do with it? I couldn't watch the whole thing with Trump, obviously, but the clips are, I don't know. I don't think he's faring that well. But either way, it was not a hit for their audience. It's like these people, you know, they go to their rallies and stuff, and they go up in front of not just like their people, but like the lowest common denominator even for their people that'll leave the house and paint themselves up in Trump gear and go and show up to one of their events. And yeah, they're going to hoot and holler and eat out of the palm of your hand, but these are not sure they work for you. And that's the thing too. Trump fully expects that everyone who works for him keeps their head engulfed fully in his ass at all times, right? Or else they have no place in his administration. But these are guys that, these are serious military men who were there before you and who intend to be there after you. You know what I mean? And they have an actual ethos and some principles and integrity. And this shit is not a game or a joke or frat boy bullshit to them. And that these guys don't think about things that way. And the only thing that I'm telling myself, my current cope with it is like, maybe if they were as upset by that whole display as they seem to be, or at least unenthused by it, these generals today, then maybe we can hope that means that whenever Trump and Hegseth inevitably try to turn them fully on the American people and use them to secure, a power grab that lasts for eternity, essentially, ending democracy as we know it, when they want to employ the military for those ends, maybe those guys will be like, no, fuck you, man. You shouldn't have called us fat and soft and gay and shit that one time and all those other times. That's the thing, too. It's been funny to me for years that, like, the support the troops crowd, nothing's more important than supporting the troops, consistently backs this guy who just talks shit in, about, around, and to the face of troops at every opportunity he's ever gotten for a decade running now. So yeah, makes sense, y'all. Either way, maybe they'll stand up for us a little bit when the revolution comes, if for no other reason than personal spite. So we got that going for us. Thanks for watching, as always. Yes, I'm back in the Jeep. The video, if you watch every week, last week I was not in the Jeep, but now I'm back. I'm indecisive. I don't know. It's hard. I bitch about people that, not being open to change, but in my own personal life, I got some of that too. I'm stubborn, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying I won't go back in there. It's more like I want that to be better looking at everything if I'm gonna do it not in the Jeep. And then I don't know, it doesn't matter. I don't even know why I'm doing this right now. Y'all don't care, or some of you do care. I'm just glad you're watching, period. If I haven't run you off by this point, thank you for that. So I'm gonna put some watch also my special Trash Daddy right here if you haven't, or rewatch it. It's a fun time. Click there to subscribe. One of these, subscribe to the channel. You get all these videos of my cooking videos. I got another one of those coming soon, stand-up clips, whatnot. And then the other ones, that's TraeCrowder.com. That's important. This website's got my tour dates on it. I'm a touring stand-up comedian, really. So get on there and check it out. If I'm coming near your town, get a ticket, come see me. It's fun. Welcome, distraction, commiserate together, all that good stuff. But either way, you keep watching these silly things, and I'll keep pumping them out, I reckon. Hang in there, everybody. Love you like chicken. Bye.